Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Katelyn, and today we are continuing the 100 Dragon Challenge. Guys, we made it. We are halfway. We are at number 50 out of 100, and that is so exciting. Like, I can't believe we've made it after so long of doing this challenge. Like, we're already halfway. It's crazy. You know, next thing we know, we're gonna be at the next 50 mark, which would be 100, and we'd be done. But either way, so today I wanted to do something special, and so I'm combining a couple of different suggestions into this one dragon. So as you can see, there's a couple comments looking for me to do a dinosaur dragon. I've been getting those a lot, along with some that have been like Aztec gods or other cool gods, and I thought, well, since 50 is really represented by gold, especially for wedding anniversaries and such, I thought it'd be really cool to do a golden dragon. So this should signify our big 5-0, combining some of the most commented, most requested look with gold. I thought this would be super cool, and it just works so well with 50, because gold is just so symbolic of 50. And, you know, I thought we could make a really cool, badass, big golden dragon. So where does the Aztec god come in, you might be asking? I was talking with a couple friends because I had a couple ideas going into 50. I knew I wanted gold, and I had a couple of different ideas and inspirations, and I finally landed on just doing like a play off of the inspiration from El Dorado, like the City of Gold. I really like the idea of this maybe being the protector of El Dorado, like a really awesome, cool, god-like monster. It could be kind of loosely based off of Quetzalcoatl, very, very loosely. I'm using that super loosely because I know Quetzalcoatl was more of a winged snake, not like a interesting T-Rex fusion with wings, you know what I mean? So very loosely based off of Quetzalcoatl. I did take some inspiration in terms of like the headpiece adornments and some of the detailing on this dragon from different portraits of Quetzalcoatl. But overall, this is more of just a Aztec-y Mayan god-looking creature. And I thought it'd be really cool to incorporate it with the City of Gold and just have it be like almost like the protector of like the treasures of the city or something like that. Something along those lines. So I just really like the idea of doing a really cool dinosaur-based dragon. So I'll be totally honest with you guys, I have like a love-hate relationship with dinosaur stuff on my channel, because a lot of people have been wanting me to do more dinosaur things, but the last time I did one, I got reamed because I picked the wrong inspiration picture for a Spinosaurus. And oh my god, the comments just were reined in, and I was like, okay, I gotta step back from doing dinosaurs for a bit, because I know dinosaurs are near and dear to a lot of our hearts, and a lot of people are super passionate about them. But it also sucks when you just get like an onslaught of comments basically saying you don't know anything about anything. So I just wanted to step away from dinosaurs for a minute, and now I'm coming back to them. So with that out of the way, this is loosely based off of a T-Rex. I am not claiming that it is 100% a T-Rex. I would say this is kind of like almost like the Indoraptor thing. I don't even remember what it was called from Jurassic Park. It's more of combining different parts of different dinosaurs that I like to make a dinosaur inspired dragon. So overall, the body structure was very based off of T-Rex. I thought, first of all, the head of the T-Rex would be super cool. Just this big, fat, like very powerful jawed creature would be super cool for this one. And I just kind of had this mindset of like, you know, back then when people were thinking about like gods that were dragons or large serpents or old mythology of dragons and things. I think they're based off of basically people finding dinosaur bones. So that's kind of where I was going with this. I just imagined like if this god didn't exist and people were just making up the persona of it, it would be based off of a combination of different dinosaur bones. So I thought, first of all, big cool T-Rex head, really powerful and like overbearing. And just imagine coming into the city trying to steal this gold and you're faced with this giant crazy toothed like head of a T-Rex. Like that'd be so like scary, and you probably wouldn't stand a chance and it would eat you in one bite. So that's what I wanted for the big intimidating head. But then I wanted kind of longer arms because I imagine this still being a bipedal monster, but I kind of like the idea of it being able to crouch down on 4 legs, or when it's landing from flying with its wings, it kind of needs a little more stability than just its 2 legs. I know like birds technically do that and they don't need extra arms, but in this one with the big head and him more broader chested, I kind of wanted those long arms to help him bear the weight of like, maybe it helps him take off or land. And then even on top of that, it's just great to have big long arms to grab anyone that comes into your city that you're protecting. So yeah, it's kind of like a combo, but for sure, mostly based off of a T-Rex. So I'm going in here and adding some detailing to the head. I wanted to give it the feathers of like a Quetzalcoatl-like design. I know I've done the jungle dragon in the past, and that was also based off of an Aztec design, but this one I really leaned into the look that is from the different paintings of what Quetzalcoatl looks like in the ancient religion. So like he has, I don't know what they are, but they're these 2 like, I guess head adornments coming out the side, and then lots of like feathers and like cool patterns and like neck pieces and other things that were on his design. So I wanted to carry some of those over to this creature. There was also some really cool like spikes that were in red. I thought those looked really cool. They probably all have some symbolic meaning to them in terms of like relating to Quetzalcoatl, but I solely just based it off of looking at the design of him and taking elements that I really liked and applying it to this creature. I also wanted this to be a feathered winged dragon, since, like I said, Quetzalcoatl was more of a serpent with feathered wings. I still wanted to keep that feathered wing look. Plus, you know, there's all that speculation going back and forth, and I know there has been some things that have proven that dinosaurs potentially did have feathers or some type of like feathering to them. So I kind of like this idea of this dinosaur dragon having these big feathered wings and having feathers going from its back of its head, up its back, down its tail. I thought that looked really cool, and it really adds to the aesthetic of like the Mayan Aztec god vibe. It just looks really cool, and I just love the feathers added to this creature. So with the design out of the way, it was time to jump in and pick some colors. So obviously I said this was a golden dragon. So we were gonna be leaning very heavily on the yellows and the golds and the browns. And I wanted this to look really bright, but I didn't want it to look like it was made out of gold, but was made out of gold. I don't know how to describe what I was going for. But I realized I'm kind of limited on my yellow palette. I do have yellows, but a lot of them look very similar, at least in terms of the ones I have in my Copics collection. So I think it's time that I expand on a couple of different yellows, but I think last I looked, there's not like a huge plethora of diverse yellows within the Copic collection, but maybe I need to do a little more digging and see what's available. But yeah, I picked a lot of yellows. I have my, technically it's like a brownish gold Copic marker. I also got some blues and greens and reds to add some different colors to go along with the Quetzalcoatl-like design, like for like the adornments or any of the extra detailing. And then it was time to jump in and actually do the color. So like I said, I wanted to do the adornments in different colors, along with having this creature be primarily the yellow goldish tones. I also had in mind that I wanted to add a gel pen at the end. I have a gold gel pen that I wanted to add some really cool highlights to it, maybe like do some cool scaling or add specific highlights here and there. I thought that'd be super cool and just add a whole nother dimension to this drawing. And I have to say, guys, I'm very happy and proud that this one was for the 50th. This took me a really long time. It was super detailed, and I really took my time on coloring and like adding a lot of dimension to the yellows and golds. I really love this one. I think this one turned out super cool. And oh God, when I was making it, I think I started at, I think it was like 7 o'clock at night, and I didn't go to bed until like 11:30, 12 o'clock. I just got so engrossed and sucked into doing this. It was a blast, and I thank you guys for recommending doing a dinosaur dragon, and it was so cool, and I really hope you guys enjoy this for the 50th. I'm super proud of it, and I absolutely love how it's looking, and just it's so cool to add a really awesome dino aesthetic to a really big, intimidating dragon. So as you can see, the coloring is slowly coming together. I put a lot of detailing into the shading, as you can see for the wings. It just took a lot of layering, and I did like 3 different colors for the different shadow effects. And I have to say, I really like how it looks overall. And then during this process, I also was trying to figure out how to differentiate the stomach area along with the different color that I had for the inside outside of the arms and the hands, and then the inside of the legs. And I decided to go with this like coppery brown. I really like this color combined with the yellowish gold. I just think it works so well. I know it looks more like copper and it's not like a full gold dragon based off of that coloring, but they complement each other really well. I think it's a nice differentiation. Instead of making this thing all one big yellow blob, it was nice to have a different coloring to it and having this different darker copper gold-ish color. Well, I guess it's more like a yellow-orange color to it, and I think it added a nice extra layer of color to it. And then I also went around and added those red spikes. I have them going up his tail along with on his arms, and then kind of like an armband type of thing going on. I really love how that looks, and just having the little extra details on him. I guess he's not as decked out as like a god might be. Like you would think that they would have so many more layers of like jewelry or accessories or so many other things that are on this creature. But I was like, you know, I like the idea of it being a little more simple. Because yes, the paintings of the different gods and other things have like a ton of like hairdresses and elaborate clothing and extra accessories. But if this thing was actually like a real guardian of the kingdom or of El Dorado, I think it would need to have kind of like practical adornments for a couple of reasons. One, I would not want to have the job of putting the adornments on this creature, because you would have to think that whenever it would charge an intruder, something could potentially fall off, or maybe just over time it wears out and falls off. So I would not want the job of going up and like putting these things on this creature constantly. and then like it would potentially get in the way. I don't want him to be overweight and maybe getting snagged on a ton of jewelry while he's charging the enemies of El Dorado, you know? So I think it works well. It's a nice extra pop of a different color, and you get to see the whole creature in his big, intimidating self, and I love it. I really love how this one turned out. I hope you guys too. I know you've been so patient for a dinosaur dragon, and I hope this meets your expectations, because I fucking love it, and it is amazing, and I love it. I really, 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 really like this dragon. And I'm just wrapping up here with adding that little bit of gold gel pen I told you about. It adds a really nice shiny layer. You can't see it from this angle, but I'll do like a little moving of the paper here in a second where you can kind of see that shine from all these extra little scales around the creature. I didn't put as many on the wings because I just thought, you know, the feathers wouldn't really have like the scales or the shininess to it, but I love how this turned out. I really love this dragon overall, and I think it's a cool one for you guys to interpret too, because a gold dragon just leaves it so open. There's so many opportunities for you guys to make something really awesome. But let's go ahead and look at last week's dragons for the famine dragon. So you guys had a lot of really fun interpretations for the famine dragon, but first off, Day Ladybug, I really like that you used kind of like a locust design. Really cool interpretation, since like locusts were known for like just knocking out and killing so many crops, like easily could impose a famine. I love it. And then Kartiv Kata, I think I said your name right. I just really like this design. I like the body anatomy and the little additions of like the goods that might have been involved with like famine and such. Really cool design. And overall, you guys, I really loved all of your designs. Some had like more creepy elements. There was like a 3D rendered one. Lots of really cool designs. You guys nailed it. I love seeing these dragons, and I cannot wait to see what you guys make for the gold dragon. But either way, if you guys would like to participate in making a gold dragon, make sure to post your entry on Twitter or Instagram with the hashtag KM100dragons. And I just ask that you get it uploaded the Thursday before these videos by like 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Basically, the earlier the better. So I'd really appreciate it, and I can't wait to see what you guys make. So either way, thank you guys so much for stopping by and checking out this video. And if you aren't already, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button, join our little community, hit that bell icon too so you're notified when I post videos. And I would love to hear other suggestions for your dragon ideas. We have 50 to go. I have a couple mini series running right now, but please feel free to leave some suggestions down below. And I will see you guys next time for another video. Bye everybody.